I'm going to introduce our first speaker. But before I do that, as I started out, there is an attack. There's a war on families, on values. We see these drag shows for kids, right? My good friend Carol Chris mentioned why don't they give them whiskey and cigarettes? Why they're at it. I mean, it's insane, some of the stuff that's going on. But I want to mention something more uplifting. Dale Schroeder, he's from Iowa. He was 67 years as a carpenter. He had 2 pairs of jeans. He never went to college or university. He felt it's something he missed out on. He was poor. But he spent all his money, his earnings, and he helped 33 people get educated with all his earnings for his life. It's amazing, right? This is a spirit of giving, right? Of kindness, right? Christmas time. Anyway, Merry Christmas to everybody and to you. So we want to look to people that really, it's so inspiring to read those or hear about those people that do such good things. And that's why I'm so grateful for the people speaking today. Their caliber of heart is so amazing. So right now I'm going to invite up Lisa Disbrow. Lisa is from Contra Costa here. She Moms for Liberty. She's the chairperson for Contra Costa for a group called the Patriots for their informed parents. Great information always coming out about informed parents. But Lisa, if I could use one word to describe her, and I wanted to use this many times, is self-perpetuated. She is self-perpetuated. I want to invite up now Lisa Disbrow to share with us. Thank you.
Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah. Not sure where to do this. Okay. I want to dedicate my speech to my mom and dad. I was blessed. It's going to make me emotional. I was blessed with courageous parents. I watched my parents do many things that I cannot forget. And I just want to speak about one of them. We were driving to my grandparents out in Sebastopol, and we were on a highway, and my dad and mom saw this house that smoke and fire was coming out of off the freeway. My dad went to that like a bat out of, and my dad jumped out of the car and he started rescuing the furniture and mobilizing the people standing and the neighbors watching the fire while my mom and my sister and I prayed. My dad got back in the car and we were just like in shock that all of a sudden this situation just happened. That has been a guiding memory in my life. That my dad knew what was right, my mom knew what was right, and everybody did their part. And I think that's part of why I'm able to do what I do. I also want to shout out to our wonderful Charlie Kirk. He must be remembered. Our children must hear of him, his thoughts, his engagements, his interactions with others. And I just want to say with great pride that I live in Moraga, and I went in front of the high school that my kids went to a few years back, and I recognized his birthday on the 14th of October. And I had parents telling me with their windows rolled down that they were glad he was killed. My school district, the Acalanes Union High School School District, would not confront the support for his assassination coming from both students and staff in our 5 high schools. So I'm really glad that my group, Patriots of Contra Costa, did an overpass celebration for his birthday. And someone took a photograph from Highway 24 in Lafayette, put it up on X, and we got over 125,000 views and many appreciations and shock that anybody in Lafayette would care about Charlie Kirk. So it was a fantastic effort. And the other thing I want to say is that all over the state, kids are recognizing that they're being deceived. They're being manipulated. They're afraid to come out, but I have to say, in my local area, there are some courageous high schoolers that are forming their own Club America. So that is just spectacular. And I want to frame my talk with this concept. Transition is not suicide prevention. That's the big lie. That's one of them. There are many. But this is absolutely being debunked. And in the Supreme Court hearings we're having, this is being debunked. What actually does cause suicide is people who succumbed to the indoctrination and let their bodies be traumatized in all these different ways. My background is I'm a public school teacher out of Richmond. And as a kid, Richmond was a satellite of Berkeley, Oakland, San Francisco, and all the chaos that happened in the 60s. So I got an up-close seat to all kinds of radical, violent organizations coming into the schools. My West Contra Costa Unified School District is the home of the current state superintendent of public schools, Tony Thurman, and he has further radicalized the state using West Contra Costa as his jumping off point. So I have been surrounded by indoctrination and manipulation for my entire life. And then I went and became a bilingual teacher, not knowing I was jumping into the swimming pool with the same mindset. And then when I went into public education and I wanted to teach kids how to really read and write and think and count and do numeracy, I discovered that that wasn't popular, that that wasn't appreciated, that academics is not the goal of education because it doesn't pay. The more skillful the kids are, the smaller the money is that comes into the district. And for example, if you're in Acalanes, you think that being a low wealth district is a terrible thing. Well, it's only because we have mostly college-educated parents, employed parents, parents who are not homeless or children who are not in the foster system. Those are the groups, some of those groups get extra money, and West Contra Costa, Pittsburgh, and many of the all of the Title I community schools thrive off of that money. And not only do they want that money to increase, but they've now gone into mental health, and so they want to make sure that they have mental health services, which are AKA confusion services for all students, which is big money. And if you're in the Mount Diablo Unified School District, they've got a third of their school population now eligible for these special confusion programs, and they're headed towards 100%. And the school board, 4 out of the 5 members are salivating. They have one member who is asking a lot of questions because he's very concerned. Today I want to show you a couple of the books that will lead to the video that I'm going to ask the gentleman to play in just 1 minute. A is for activist. I'm a kindergarten teacher, so I'm all about the alphabet, the sounds, right? Would you ever have thought of presenting this to TK, which is pre-kindergarten, kindergarten, first or second grade kid? Well, they did. And all throughout this is indoctrination. My shadow is pink. This is about a boy who believes he is really a girl, and he convinces his family that that's true. This book is a part of a lawsuit in Encinitas that turned out very successfully, from my point of view, because they believed that the fifth grade class that was used to indoctrinate the kindergarten class was a violation of the parents' rights. And so this has been a successful win for us, thanks to the courage of the parents who were upset. Without those parents being willing to file a lawsuit, we wouldn't have that victory, which is going to benefit all of California. As a kindergarten teacher, the wheels on the bus go round and round, right? Kind of a mainstay of all elementary, primary teachers. This is the drag queen. The hips on the drag queen go swish, 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 swish. This is only one of many books that have mutilated traditional rhymes that we use to help kids learn to read and increase their vocabulary and enjoy language. Then I think this is the showstopper for me, Being You. This is a beginning toddler book. It's the kind that kids can step on, spill drinks on, and it survives, right? It's all about gender identity, being you. We caught this book in the classroom at Acalanes High School in Lafayette in the science room. Is that shocking? So at back to school night, this was in the classroom near the teacher's materials, because she's using this to tell the students in high school, you can be a boy, you can be a girl, you can be both, and you can be neither. Radical. Not very biological based, right? All about gender identity. So the real problem we have right now is courage. Every place we have a victory, it's because we have an outbreak of courage, whether it's joining a Moms for Liberty group, whether it's filing a lawsuit, whether it's speaking up at the school board, whether it's standing out on the corner with a sign, no one is born in the wrong body. We need outbreaks of courage. I'll tell you a small victory that I'm super ecstatic about. In Acalanes, they wanted to pass a parcel tax school increase, and they needed 67% of our community to pass the tax. I stood out on a street corner in front of a school on a very big road, 4 lanes, kind of a main artery, for a couple of months. Other people did other things too, and we defeated it by 3%. Wow. I'll take it to the bank. That same district is coming back for a second bite of the apple in 26, as are 2 of the elementary schools, Lafayette Elementary and Moraga Elementary. In addition to the fact that CTA now has on their website, they want to extend Prop 55, which is set to sunset. So my little district, where we're all struggling with the price of groceries and gas and rent and just life, like everyone else in California, they're going to be looking at having us approve vote for 3 tax increases. I'm going to be standing out on the street in 26. More signs, hopefully more of you will be standing out on the street, and you'll be telling people, you can vote against this. You don't have to abuse yourself. I want to just say one more last thing. What you don't know is your tax dollars that fund the schools are being used on all kinds of conferences to indoctrinate the school board members, the superintendents of your districts, the teachers, the clerical, and the maintenance. Everybody is being indoctrinated, and guess what? You're paying for the hotel. You're paying for the flight. You're paying for the food. You're paying for the speakers out of your taxes that you thought were going to go to the classroom and teach the kids how to read and write and understand history and be able to write a coherent paper. But they're not. They're going to all these organizations to undermine you and your freedom and your values. Thank you very much, Lisa Disbrow.